few cups of kindness were taken on board as Edinburgh welcomed in a new year, and two very old acquaintances are about to resume a rivalry that stretches back 134 years, and that means more fireworks. And the perfect way to herald in a new year, to celebrate a victory over your greatest rivals. The fans of Hearts and Hibs have pride and passion pumping through their veins, and they're warming up for a fixture that sets pulses racing.
First win of the year!
Never a dull moment when Hearts and Hibs are around. It is all kicking off big time. Hearts are first to show in the Edinburgh Derby. This has been a pulsating performance from Hibernian. Hearts are loving it. That is wonderful.
We're ready for this live on ESPN as we charge into 2011 from the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League. It's the 256th League Derby between Hearts and Hibs. And the stage is set. Third place Hearts are flying, 7 wins out of 8 on the heels of the Old Firm in the title race, and there's a considerable gap between the Jambos and the rest of the division. But the drum Hibs will bang. Recent form and current league position are meaningless going into a derby match, and having lost the last 3 derbies and with no win in the last 5 SPL games, Hibs need a victory to get their season back on track and put some distance between themselves and the SPL relegation place. Here's the SPL table on January the 1st, 2011, 1-1-11. Celtic are number 1, it's Aberdeen who are 11th. Hearts 3rd, 6 points off the title base, but they have a 9-point cushion on 4th spot. Hibs 9th, 4th bottom, 6 points above the SPL relegation place. Work to do to move into the top half of the table. 20 points behind Hearts hurts. After today's games, the focus will switch to the second Old Firm match of the season at Ibrox tomorrow. And John Collins and Colin Hendry are here in the studio, and on behalf of us all and everyone at ESPN, Happy New Year. John, you know about these Edinburgh derbies so very well. You're the last manager to lead Hibs to a trophy. Tell us about this fixture. Tell us about the emotion of the build-up, what goes on in the city.
From a player's point of view and the coach, manager, it's high-tension drama. The week leading up to it, a game you're desperate to win, but if you lose it, it's a painful defeat. Fans are built up for it all week, but from a player's point of view and a coach, the manager's got to make sure the players go into that relaxed, but at the same time they've got to win, try and win the tackles, but they've got to remember it's a football match. That's the message I tried to tell the players. It
just doesn't go together, does it, to be relaxed for a fixture like this? And it's New Year's Day. Everyone's looking for fresh impetus, a new start, or continue what's going on. It's landmark time, January the 1st.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions, I think, to be asked of Hibs today. You know, I think we spoke before, John and I, about the supporters being concerned about this tie, and it's a big match for them today.
Hearts in the title race, by the way, is that
well,
too far?
I mean, they're only 5 points adrift of Rangers, but certainly been a great team to watch this season. The players are playing well organised, and realistically got a bit to do, but they are far and away the 3rd best in the country at the minute.
Team news now, who starts for both teams? Derek Ray can tell us. Best wishes, Happy New Year, Derek.
Likewise, Ray, Happy New Year to you and the boys. Hearts are overwhelming favourites to win this Edinburgh derby, but I can tell you that has 1 or 2 in the maroon camp a bit concerned. You simply never know what's going to happen when these two capital rivals cross swords. As far as today's concerned, 1 change from the Hearts team that beat St Mirren. Rudy Scatchell returns from a calf strain and takes the place of Ryan Stevenson. Matty Ankello and Stephen Elliott have lost their fitness and illness battles. Hibs make 5 switches for the second game on the trot. Amongst the absentees, Saul Bamba, who will likely be a Leicester City player, I can tell you, in the very near future. Stephen Tico and Jonathan Grounds come in at the back. Up front, Daryl Duffy will make his first start as a Hibs player in partnership with Valdas Trakis. So, what is on the mind of the Hibs manager, Colin Calderwood? Let's find out. He's with ESPN's Daryl Curry. Daryl.
Derek, many thanks, and of course Colin's first home game in charge of Hibs was the Edinburgh Derby, so it's your second crack at it today, and what kind of game are you expecting?
Very, very tough against a team who are in good form, must be very confident, and they look a powerful and good unit, that's what I see.
I know a lot of people said you would pack the midfield today with 5 players, but I look at your team, you're going with 2 strikers and Riordan as well.
Yeah, well, we've got to try. We've obviously got to try and keep a clean sheet, but we've just got to do our basics as well as we can and have a goal threat, and that's why we've had the players in the team that we've got.
But it looks like you're coming here not looking for a draw, you're looking to win this game, it looks like on paper, Colin.
Well, a win would make a huge improvement in where we think we should be going, and that's why, you know, a point will only keep us treading water a little bit, so the 3 points are extra valuable, and that's what we'll chase.
We've not spoken to you on ESPN for some time now, but it looked as if a few weeks ago you turned the corner when you had that great win against Rangers. How disappointing has the form been since then for you?
Well, only idiots think you turn the corner with 1 result, so nobody thought that here. So it's obviously a work in progress, and 1 result won't make any difference. You know, it's got to be a sustained run that we look for.
And what do you make of Hearts right now? They're on a good run, and they've got Scatchell back in there today, and Templeton, a few danger men.
Well, I think whoever Hearts had played today was going to be a tough one. I think they are overwhelming favourites as we stand here at the minute. We've got to produce something that we haven't produced and do that little bit extra, that little bit better. But I believe we've got goals in our team, and we hope we prove that.
Colin, thank you very much. I hope you have a good start to the new year.
Thank you.
What's your reading of the situation over Derek Riordan? He's a fan's favourite. They're not going to negotiate with him until the end of the season. What do you read into that?
I think there's 2 ways to read it from the manager's point of view. I think if you really want to keep the player, you go to your board of directors and say, I'm desperate to keep him and build my team around him. But from another point of view, a manager, maybe you want to try and keep him hungry. Some players sign a contract and they kind of switch off. So I don't know what Colin's thinking. Does he want to keep him hungry? So he's playing. If he is playing for a move, he scores goals. He's got 2 good feet. That's his strengths. His weaknesses, he doesn't always work as hard as I think he should. I think his teammates sometimes need more of him when they don't have the ball.
There will be clubs looking at him though, John, won't they? You know, I mean, clubs in England will have seen what he's done in the past. Maybe not producing it at this minute in time, but certainly looking at what he's done in the past.
Would you stick with him, Cole? Would you build a team around him? Would you try and make sure he stays?
Colin's decided at this minute in time, it doesn't look as if he has, because he's going to be out of contract. The window's going to come up, we'll find out in a minute. Of course, Darryl Duffy hits his first start of the season as well, but, you know, Riordan, who knows?
It's a surprise for me, this young man Duffy starting his first game. I think I've read an article in the paper, he's played 65 minutes of a bounce game. He's been out for 4 months, so Colin's obviously said he came on midweek for 20 minutes and actually done very well, got a couple of shots on target, but there's no way he's going to finish the game, so I presume Colin says to him, give me a good 45 minutes, 60 minutes, everything you've got, and I'll bring you off.
Yeah, it's a cauldron as well. Scott Booth is on the commentary gantry at Tynecastle. What are your observations on Hibs, Scott?
Well, I think it's quite clear that the Hibs results have got to improve quickly. I think what's quite significant is that Colin Caldwood himself has said that he's been disappointed in his own performance since arriving at Hibs, and I think it's because he hasn't fixed the defensive problems. And I think that's first and foremost when a new manager comes in. If we look at the midweek game against Dundee United, you know, it's individual errors and it's been costing Hibs all season. Bamba, an experienced player at the back, this is after 2 minutes as well, Ray, so they're already chasing the game, which is not what you want to do when you're looking for results. And then here Michael Hart, an old colleague of mine, diving in, a really, again, experienced fullback, makes a real mess of it. And I think the only thing you can say is the positive thing that's come out of this is that they've managed to get a point out of that game, which is a positive coming into this one, but it's a massive game because Hearts are flying.
8 points out of 30 for Hibs under Colin Caldwood. Their season really needs to take off and lift off. Talk about New Year resolutions. Hearts and Hibs will show incredible resolve and determination to win this match today. No one more so than Hearts boss Jim Jeffries. As a player and a manager, he's experienced all the emotions generated by Edinburgh derbies. We'll hear from the Hearts manager between now and kick-off. And the Jambo centre-forward Kevin Kyle tells us why life is so good at Tynecastle.
It's a happy place to come. I know I think the majority of people who work in any form, they don't love their work, but at the minute, Company Hearts, Heart and Maloney Football Club here at Rickerton is absolutely fantastic.